Hey everybody, I'm Peter Toring with Global Banker, here with my good friend James Lutz from Michigan First Credit Union. We're here to talk about an awesome new program from MSHDA. So tell us, first of all, what is MSHDA? What's the program?
Yep, it's MSHDA's Step Forward Down Payment Assistance Program. It's something that they've come out with before in the past, and there's no rhyme or reason to when they do it, but when they do it, gains a lot of traction. And this one, especially, because it came out 2 days ago, the announcement, and I've seen everybody on social media and everywhere talking about it. So I guess what we're here to do is kind of clear the air, tell you guys what it is, what it's all about, what are the rules, and especially with this one, because it is a little bit different than the other ones, of why they rolled it out and how they did it and who can take advantage of it and when they can take advantage of it.
Right, so the standard MSHDA program is a $7,500 assistance towards your down payment that's got to be repaid when you sell the house, correct?
Yep, absolutely.
And this program is $15,000 and does not have to be repaid?
Correct. As long as you stay in the house and don't do anything for 5 years, it is forgiven.
Okay. So tell us a bit more on, so who can qualify for this?
Typical, any first-time home buyer can qualify for it, or if you haven't owned a home in the past 3 years. So the other qualifications that you're going to need as far as credit are a 640 credit score. You can't make more than, it's $68,000 and change for a two-person family per year.
Okay.
Those are the big ones that everyone seems to get caught up on.
The other thing too is it's everyone in the home has to. So it's if you, let's say that just your husband is going on the loan, you still have to qualify.
Correct.
Every adult in the home still
that
has
is
to qualify.
right. Anyone over the age of 18 in the home has to have that 640 credit score or higher, and has to stay within the household income limit. The only exception to that rule is if you have a student, like a child that lives in the home that's over 18, but they're a full-time student. As long as we can document that with transcripts and whatnot, we can get around their credit scores.
So tell me, what are the? I know last time we had some location parameter limits. Are there any limits to the location?
Same deal. It's 61 county or 61 cities.
Okay.
And we can get you the list. Of course, if it is something that you're looking for, you can go right online. They have all this information on their website. It's actually very user-friendly, easy to find, or just call me or your other local mortgage banker, and we should have the knowledge to talk to you about.
Yeah, we'll link out a list of locations and areas that you can take advantage of this. Tell me, what are the kind of the, obviously rates are jumping up and down the joke, because if you don't like your rate today, check tomorrow. What are the rates like for these programs?
MSHDA actually controls the rate, so no matter who you go through for your mortgage, if you go with the state down payment assistance, you're going to get the same rate no matter what. And we did just call to verify before we're doing this, and the rate for down payment assistance programs is 4.375. Which generally MSHDA's rates are usually in the same kind of ballpark that normal rates are at, so you're not sacrificing and taking a huge hit on your rate to get the down payment assistance, so it's kind of nice.
Right, and it is obviously it's a higher rate than you might be getting if you're a fantastically qualified conventional buyer.
Right, like 3.75 on the best perfect rate out there, where MSHDA's just over, a little over 4, so it's not that bad.
And what about any questions that you tend to run into when you're dealing with a MSHDA deal? Are they? Tell us a little bit about anything that might trip some of our folks up.
I get a lot of the same questions for MSHDA that would coincide and be the same for just an overall approval, because it's always first-time buyers that are qualifying for it. So not only do they have questions about how does this program work and what are their rules, but what does it take to own a home, period. And honestly, I tell them the things that we're going to look at are your credit score and credit history, your 2 years of employment history, and if you're working with any money or assets in the bank. Those are the kind of things that we're all looking at. And MSHDA specific rules, again, I know we keep saying it, is 640 for their down payment assistance program. Household limit of income, how much you can make. Sales price limits of how big of a house you're allowed to buy.
Do you happen to remember that off the top
I don't know. It's up there.
Is it similar to FHA?
No, it's lower than FHA's loan limits. It's a pretty high amount, so it's something, I believe. I'd have to look it up.
It's realistically, if you're in that price point, you're probably not looking for that type of
not too many first-time buyers are buying $250, so they make it reasonable.
Right. So what about, are there any additional qualifications that MSHDA needs? Are there any extra appraisals, inspections, anything else?
No, but I'm glad because it just hit me. You do have to take a class. It's a one-day class through the state. You can do it in person or online. It's about $95, I believe, and they provide you with a certificate that your lender needs when submitting to MSHDA and getting reserving the funds.
It sounds. I'll take a one-day class for $15,000.
Oh yeah.
So now let's get into this. Is pretty unique because it's rolled out in a very specific way for specific people.
Yes.
Let's go into that a little bit.
This is one that is really important because I see a lot of people talking about this program and they're leaving out a pretty big detail, and it's specific to this one. Not only are they offering less total money, it's $6 million, roughly $6 million that they have reserved for the program, where usually it was...
Yeah, what was last time?
Oh my gosh.
Was it 50?
50, I was up there, 30
Okay.
or 50, it was a lot. It lasted 6 months or so. This one is not going to last long. Reason being is that out of the $6 million they set aside, the first people that get dibs on this money are the people that have already found a home and been approved for it, and they already have their normal $7,500 MSHDA reserved, but they haven't closed on the deal yet. So they all have time before October 1st to quickly flip it and get the $15,000 first.
Okay.
And then at October 1st, once that date hits, whatever they haven't used already, now we can use for everybody. So there may be a little bit left, there may be none left,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Well, and especially, I mean, you'll know more about this, but the $7,500 program is not nearly as popular as this one was, specifically because of that lien at the end, right?
That's 100%. Not only is it double the money, but you get to have it forgiven after 5 years,
Yeah.
where the other one is not forgiven.
Yeah, because I remember we were going through and went just the standard, $7,500. It seems like a lot of buyers, if they're qualified, we can either get concessions or push them another direction that we're
Right.
not tacking on, more money onto the end of the
Yeah, with
house.
this one, I was just explaining it to a girl the other day. You can literally buy a $100,000 house with $1,000 in the bank. Whereas the other $7,500, if no one else chips in, you might be responsible for $3,500 to cover your portion. This one, I mean, there's no better deal.
Any differences in closing costs or anything with this program than?
No, standard, with just like all your other ones.
And then last question here too. So or another question, but let's talk about this. So last time, it lasted 6 months, give or take.
Yeah.
Now this one is going to be, we think, quite a bit quicker.
Yeah.
So that means that if you guys are out there looking to buy, maybe you're thinking about, I was thinking about buying, but I don't necessarily know if I have the down payment. You'll actually see a video come out tomorrow about why waiting to save 20% is not necessarily always your best option. In this case, waiting could be, you could lose out on the opportunity of a lifetime here from Michigan.
Yeah. It's not going to hurt you to go talk to your bank and get a pre-approval in place. It will literally, it's not going to hurt you. It'll cost you a little bit of time of just going in and seeing that person, or a phone call, doing it over the phone. It's worth it. 100%. I can't stress enough how awesome this program is. And worst case, if you don't catch that $15,000, you're still going to get $7,500.
Right.
I mean, it's a home run compared to a grand slam. So.
Right. But if you are, like I said, if you're, let's say the lease is coming up in November, and you say, hey, is now the time to buy? I know the market's kind of hot. This is a great opportunity for you. I think it's a great program. I'm glad they're offering it again. And for all of you out there, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself, reach out to James. He'll be tagged on this, as well as his information. Shoot him a text. It doesn't take you, if you're sitting there at 9 o'clock, he'll probably get back to you.
Yeah, call me, text me anytime.
Doesn't take much to get hold of him. So,
Yep.
All right, thanks for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.